right. Hi, everyone. So welcome to this chair and standing yoga practice sponsored by the Corktown Health. And we will do some seated postures sitting in a chair, or if you have a yoga mat, you can do them sitting on your yoga mat. And then we will also do some standing postures. So let's begin just by finding a comfortable seat. If you're sitting in a chair, you might think about sitting away from the back of the chair, so you're not rounding or leaning back, but rather sitting nice and tall. And you might also think about uncrossing your legs if you tend to do that. But however you sit, finding a position that feels most comfortable for you. So you might take a moment just to kind of wiggle around, settle in. And then to start, we'll just have our hands rest on our legs. That could be palms up, palms down, whatever is best for you. And then your eyes can either be open or closed. If you're keeping them open, I suggest gazing away from the screen, maybe looking down, maybe softening your eyes. And just take a couple of moments here to check in. Just notice how you're feeling. I invite you to do a brief body scan. Starting at the top of your head, moving down slowly. Just notice how different parts of your body feel. There's no right or wrong. Some areas might feel tight, some areas might be soft or relaxed. In some areas it might be hard to feel anything. So a common place might be your earlobes, right? Bringing your attention there. What do you notice? And it's okay if you're like, I can't really feel anything there. I've never thought about it before. And just slowly and with compassion, moving through your body, taking your time and checking in not only with the front of your body, but think about the side of your body and the back of your body as well. And eventually moving all the way down to your feet, to your toes. But if you're still checking in, just take a couple more moments, no rush. And now I invite you to bring your attention to your face. What do you notice here? Temples and the jaw are common places where we hold tension. We might tend to clench or grind our teeth. Just begin to see if you can soften in this area. See if you can let your back teeth separate. So our back teeth should only be touching when we're chewing. So just softening in the back of the jaw, softening around your eyes, your forehead. Just noticing how your face feels. Also the top of your head, sides of your head, the back of your head, your neck, your shoulders. All of these are common areas of tension. So if you notice tightness or tension in any area, think about consciously bringing your awareness there. Notice without judgment, just observe using mindfulness. And then see if you can begin to soften that area, perhaps using your breath. So you might visualize sending fresh energy there as you inhale. With your exhale, releasing tightness or tension. You could also visualize a color or a light or something with a temperature, perhaps a warmth, kind of melting away any tightness. And so from here, we're going to start with some gentle self-massage of our face, of our jaws and our temples. And giving ourselves some soothing touch, some gentle massage can be very grounding if we're feeling stressed and anxious. That touch of our own hand on our skin, and maybe even just take a moment, bring one hand to your heart, and just notice how that makes you feel. Physically, emotionally, energetically. So giving ourselves gentle, soothing, compassionate touch can help activate different systems in the body. It can help release oxytocin, it can help activate the parasympathetic part of our nervous system that helps with digestion, rest, rejuvenation. So I invite you to start by bringing the pads of your first two fingers to your back of your jaw. And apply some gentle pressure, figure out how much you need, and then just begin to make some circles here. Just breathing naturally, and then switch the direction. And now slowly bring your fingers, the pads of your fingers, not the tips, to your temples. Begin to apply gentle pressure, find that right amount for you, and then begin to make circles here. And switch the direction when you're ready. And when you're ready, release your hands down. Now we're going to use the pads of our thumbs. We're going to bring them between our eyebrows, to the site of the third eye, the sixth chakra, Ajna chakra, and gently press in here. Fingers are up on the head, elbows are lifted, and then pull your thumbs up, still applying pressure, kind of pulling the skin of your forehead up. Bring your thumbs all the way to your hairline, still pressing gently, separate the thumbs. Bring the pads of your thumbs to your temples, soften your shoulders, begin some circles here. And then switch the direction. And now slide your thumbs down to your jaw. Again, some circles here, finding that right amount of pressure for you, and switch the direction of the circle. And when you're ready, slowly release release your hands down to your lap. Palms could be up or down. Sitting tall, perhaps eyes closing or gazing softly down. Just checking in your head, your face, your neck, your shoulders. If there's still tension in any of these areas, you begin to release, soften. Perhaps it's helpful to take an inhale through your nose and an exhale, sigh out through your mouth. Do that a couple more times if that felt good. Inhaling through your nose, nice and deep. And now this time, when you inhale, squish your shoulders up. So adding in tension purposely here. Exhale, shrug them down. And just letting the hands come down the shoulders, release down the back, neck grow tall. Now I invite you to begin to lengthen and deepen your breath, breathing in and out through your nose. Let your belly and your chest rise on your inhales, your ribs expand outward. And then on your exhales, the belly and the chest fall, the ribs draw in. So imagine your lungs filling with air on your inhales and emptying completely on your exhales. Just take a few more rounds of breath like this, setting the foundation for our practice today. And at any time that you notice that your breath is getting shallow or you're holding your breath, using that as a signal to maybe change what you're doing in the body. That could mean taking a break from the movement or taking a different variation of it. So listening to your body, listening to your breath, and making adjustments accordingly. There's no one right way to do a pose or asana. There's no one right way it should look. It's more about how it feels for you, your personal experience of it. Now I invite you to set an intention for your practice, and you could bring one or both hands over your heart, or just keep them resting down, whatever feels best for you. Maybe you close your eyes for a moment or gaze down, thinking about what you need in this moment. Keeping your intentions short and simple and in the present tense, helping it to manifest. When you're ready, release your hands down. And now we'll begin to add in some movement. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale and lift our arms up, palms forward. Exhale, bend your elbows, bring your shoulder blades together on your back, open your chest. Inhale, press your arms away. Imagine you're pressing on an imaginary wall. And then exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Maybe you repeat your intention again, sealing it in. And then we'll repeat that sequence. So inhaling, arms up, palms up. Exhaling to cactus arms, broadening across your collarbones, elbows lifted. Inhale, straighten the arms, press through your palms. Exhale, hands to heart center. So finding this rhythm with your breath, we're going to keep going. So trying to let your breath guide you. Moving at your own pace, which could be a little different than mine. And we'll do it one more time. Ending with the repetition of your intention. Relaxing your hands down to your legs. Inhale to lengthen up through the neck and the top of the head. And then exhale, drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. And notice if your shoulder wants to hunch up. Can you gently release it down, moving the ear down towards the shoulder rather than the shoulder up towards the ear? Notice if your chin is dropping down. Can you gently lift it up? One more breath. And then when you're ready, gently lift your head back up and lengthen. And with your exhale, move to the left. Settling in here, shoulders down the back. And the rest of the spine is nice and tall. So notice if your whole body is leaning over, just keeping the main part of the spine nice and tall, just doing the lateral movement at the cervical spine, at the neck. Notice your chin. If it's dropping in towards your chest, can you lift it a little? One more breath. And when you're ready, let your inhale lift your head slowly up. And now we'll do a lateral stretch with our whole spine. So we'll inhale our arms up and exhale our right arm down and reach up and over with the left. And so if you want here, you could gaze up at your top hand, but if that doesn't feel good on your neck, maybe you just gaze straight ahead. And next, inhale, let it lift you up. Both arms lift. It's fine to bend the elbows or have the arms wide. And exhale over to the other side. So lifting up and then over. Trying to keep both your hips on the chair. Exploring the position of the head that feels best for you. And if you notice your top arm and shoulder start to round forward, can you gently pull them back? With your next inhale, lifting up, and then exhale, bring your hands down, and we're going to begin to fold. We're going to begin to bring our chest down as well. So you could stay just a little bit down here, noticing your core engaged to keep you lifted. We're nice and long with our spine, so a half lift, Ardha Uttanasana here. Or if it feels okay on your back, maybe you begin to round and let your hands slide down your shins to maybe your ankles or your feet, or they can stay higher. And let your head release down between your knees. But make sure this feels okay on your body. So if you tend to get dizzy, if you have a low back injury, glaucoma, unmedicated high blood pressure, just stay at the half lift, not bringing your head below your heart. Again, no variation or way to do a pose is better than another. It's what's best for your body in this moment, which could be different than yesterday or tomorrow. When you're ready, we're going to come up slowly with a long spine. So if you're rounding down, come up to that halfway point, and then slowly lift up, nice and straight with the spine. Good, just checking in with how you feel here. So now we're going to do a rotation, starting with the neck and then adding the whole spine into it. So we're going to inhale, grow nice and tall, lengthen up. Exhale, just gently gaze over your right shoulder, any amount. And so it doesn't have to be all the way back, it could be more forward. And pay attention to your chin here. Is it dropping down? Can you gently keep it lifted so it's parallel with the ground? Shoulders coming down the back, neck is long. Continuing your deep, even breathing. With your next inhale, we'll come back through center, nice and tall. Exhale, turn your head gently over to the left. Any amount. Could be different on this side. Often asana or movements are different side to side. Notice what you feel here. What sensations do you notice in your body? Paying attention to your chin. If it's falling in, can you gently lift it? And with your next inhale, coming back through center. So now we're going to lift the arms and add in the whole spine. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring our hands down. So our left hand comes to our right knee, and our right hand comes behind us, maybe to the back of the chair, the top, or the arm of the chair if your chair has arms. And gazing maybe back behind you, or maybe more to the side, or it could be even more forward, doing a more gentle twist, maybe not twisting as deep, depending on how your back is feeling, your digestion is, your energy level. Just paying attention and see what you need in this moment. Keeping the chin parallel with the ground. And when you're ready, next inhale, coming up, lifting up with the arms, feeling that lengthening in your side body, and exhale to the left. So right hand comes to your left knee, left hand comes behind you. Shoulders are coming down, so that might mean bending your arms. So if you notice your shoulders are way up by your ears, can you very gently bring them down? Take a couple deep breaths here. And then very slowly and gently, taking your time, listening to your body, begin to unwind, coming back through center. Let's lift up. And this time, let's interlace our fingers and press our palms up, reach up, and take a slight back bend here. So think about lifting up from your low back, gently engaging the core, maybe lifting the chin, opening the heart. And exhale, side out as you bring your hands down to your legs. We'll do one more thing seated and then we'll come to standing. So we were already doing this a little bit. Some extension and flexion of the spine. We just did a spinal extension, a back bend, and when we folded forward, we did spinal flexion. But now we're going to start with the chin and, well, the neck, and move the chin, and then we'll add in the rest of the spine. So shoulders coming down, neck is long, top of the head reaching up. Inhale and begin to lift your chin, gaze up to the ceiling. Back of the neck is still long, so we don't want it to feel pinching or compressed. And then with your next exhale, Drop your chin to your chest. Take a breath here. And one more time. When you're ready, inhale, lift up. Shoulder blades stay down and lift up only as much as you need. Take one more breath. And exhale when you're ready. Bring your chin down to your chest or as much as feels good for you. Take a breath or two here. And then slowly begin to lift up. So let's add in the rest of the spine and the arms. So we're going to inhale, sweep our arms back, push our chest forward, tilt our pelvis forward, and then exhale and round. Bend your elbows. Imagine you're giving someone a big hug. Draw your navel in towards your spine. Pelvis tilts back. So we're moving with our breath now. Dynamic movements. Inhale, lift up, pelvis tilts forward, arms back. Exhale, round, draw in, pelvis tilts back, chin to chest. Do a couple more on your own, moving at the pace of your own breath, trying to keep the shoulders down. Noticing movement along your whole spine, from your pelvis all the way up to your neck. So this is a version of a seated cat and cow. Do one more. And then after your next exhale, your next cat will come up to sitting tall. So now we're going to come up to standing. Take your time. And you might bring your chair in front of you. We're going to do a forward fold in a moment. And you might want your chair to rest your hands. So that's just an option. So we're going to take a few moments to kind of settle into our mountain pose. So just take a second to shake it out any way that feels good for you. And then bring your feet a comfortable distance apart. For me, I like to do hip distance apart. Some people like to do feet together. Some people might want to go a little wider. Think about reaching down evenly through the balls and the heels of your feet. Take a moment to lift all your toes. Activate the arches of your feet. Try to spread your toes wide. And then very slowly lower them down. Engage the muscles of your legs. Think about lifting your kneecaps. Draw your navel in. And notice your low back. Do you tend to overarch and tilt? That would be tilting your pelvis forward, or do you tend to overtuck? And kind of find that middle ground. So from the side, it would be not too much of this or too much of this, but standing nice and tall, navel drawn in, pelvis more neutral. Find that right position for you. And then palms are turning forward. Shoulder blades are coming together on our back. We're opening across our collarbones and reaching the top of our head up. Taking a moment to find something in front of you that's not moving, to focus your gaze. This is called our drishti, our gaze point in yoga. And this can help us if we feel unsteady. It's especially helpful when we're doing standing balance poses, which we'll do in a moment. And just take a few moments in Tadasana, in mountain, feeling the strength and steadiness here. So a simple pose on the surface, but a lot going on with the activation of the body, and a lot going on energetically, feeling rooted, feeling grounded through both of our feet, feeling strong and tall like a mountain. Take a moment to repeat your intention here. So now we're going to begin to add in some movement, moving dynamically with our breath. Inhale your arms up. We're going to do a lateral stretch from stand. Exhale your right arm down and reach up and over with your left. Inhale, reach up, lengthen through the side body. Exhale to the other side. Again, explore where you want to bring your head, your gaze. Inhale up. Exhale, we're going to fold and sigh. Folding forward, bend your knees if you need to. And you could rest on your chair and just stay here at that halfway point, the Ardha Uttanasana. Or if it feels comfortable for you and your body, you might begin to fold in deeper. And your hands can come to your legs, your feet, the ground. You don't have to touch the ground. So just find what feels right for you. You might begin to work on slowly straightening the legs without forcing it. Breathe into the backs of your legs. Breathe into your spine. Say hello. So if you're folding down, we're all going to come up halfway. So you might bring your hands to your shins, your thighs, or the chair seat. You don't want to bring your hands directly on your kneecaps because you don't want to push them back and lock them. So just find a position that feels right for you to be about halfway down, engaging your core in here. And then if you would like to fold again, fold one more time with your exhale, just for a breath. And then inhale, bring your arms out like wings, and with a tall spine, lift yourself all the way up. And then bring your hands down to heart center. So we're going to do that again, and this is a half sun salutation. Again, you can use a chair. If you have a yoga block you want to rest your hands on when you fold forward, you can do that. And think about when we exhale and we fold down, think about something that might feel stuck. That could be physical tension in the body. It could be a thought stuck in the mind, a repeat, maybe an emotion that feels stuck. And just think about letting that go through your exhale, releasing it. Maybe a habit or a pattern, a way of thinking that you want to let go of. Letting that out through that sigh as we fold. So again, taking a moment just to set up and feel steady in your mountain. Find your gaze point, your drishti. And that's going to change as we move. And then inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale your right arm down, reach up and over with your left. So if you want, you could bring your drishti up. Inhale both arms up, maybe taking a little standing back bend here, lifting up from the low back. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale, come up. And exhale, fold and sigh out. Let go. Whatever feels stuck, letting it go. Come halfway down or all the way. And then we'll all come halfway up. We'll all come to Ardha Uttanasana. And then if you want to fold back down to Uttanasana, the forward fold, you can. And then inhale the arms out like wings, lift up nice and strong through the legs, arms overhead, hands down to heart center. Check in again with your intention. So we'll do one more round of the half sun salutation, Surya Namaskar. Now, feel free to take variations of the side stretch. So one variation, when we fold over to the right, is you might gently grab your left wrist with your right hand and reach up and over, but not forcing, not pulling too hard, just gently holding it. Or you could do the version with the one arm down. Another version could be both arms staying up as you go to the side. Okay? So take a moment just to walk in place and kind of move around because we've been staying with our feet in one position, so we don't want to get stagnant. And find that foundation with our mountain, moving from our feet up. Again, might be good to lift all the toes again, spread them wide. activate your arches. Press down through the toes. Now lift up through the middle of the feet, the arches. Engage the legs, the core. Open the chest, top of the head reaches up. Deep breathing in and out through your nose. When you're ready, inhale your arms up. Exhale over to the right. Side stretch of your choice. Inhale up, reach up, lengthen. Exhale, side stretch to the left. Inhale up, thinking about what you need to let go of. Exhale, side out. Folding down halfway or all the way. Listen to your body. Inhale up halfway if you're not already there. Exhale, fold back in if you want. Feel free to bend your knees. And then long spine, arms out like wings. Use your core and your legs. Arms come out and up. All the way overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Checking in with your breath. Checking in with your body. Notice emotions, energy, thoughts. What do you need in this moment? Release your hands down. And we're going to move into a little bit of balance. And you could use the back of your chair to rest your hand if you wanted. Or you might have a wall handy. So feel free to move in your space if you need to. So we'll start by shifting the weight over onto our right leg. Nice and strong. Activating the leg just like we did in mountain. And then your hands could come to your hips, or maybe one hand to your chair or a wall. And then begin to lift your left heel. Keep your toes on the ground to start. And then bending the knee, begin to lift your foot, flexing your foot. And your knee doesn't have to lift a lot. You can always keep the toes on the ground. If it feels okay to bring the knee about hip height, that's one option. You don't have to do that. And then very slowly bring the leg down. And just shake it out for a moment. And again, this is where drishti can be very helpful, finding something in front of you that's not moving. Begin to shift your weight over to your left leg. Nice, strong, active left leg. Lift your right heel. Begin to lift your knee and your foot, flexing your foot, activating the muscles of your right leg. Notice if all the weight dumps over to your left leg. Can you still sit, stand up nice and tall? Try to keep your hips even. And then lower down. Think about how your breath just was there. Were you holding your breath when you lifted up? See if you can continue to let your breath flow freely. I'm going to show another way you could use your chair for this. If you have a chair that is not going to move, so you wouldn't want to use a chair, an office chair on wheels, for example. And if it feels comfortable to lift your foot a lot, you could bring it to the seat of the chair. The nice thing is, too, if you have a chair that happens to have rungs, like I do on the side, that can be another great place to rest your foot just a little bit, okay? So we're going to shift our weight over to the right leg again. Hands could be on your hips, the wall, the back of your chair. Draw your navel in, right leg is engaged. Find your gaze point, your drishti. Begin to lift the left knee and foot. Place the foot on a rung of the chair, or maybe on the seat of the chair. I noticed that just happened in my body a little bit. I shifted over to the right, my right hip dumped down. Can I try to keep my hips even? Wherever you are, take a couple of breaths. Don't forget to breathe. Strong right leg. And then slowly bring the leg down, shake it out. Shifting the weight now over to the left leg. And knowing that this could be very different side to side. Our balance is often different side to side. So having patience with yourself, whatever is coming up. Begin to lift your right knee, trying to keep your hips even. Find where you want to place your foot, or you might have it in the air, up to you. And like for me on this side, it doesn't feel great on my right hip to lift it as high, so I'm going to stay low. Continuing to breathe deep, shoulders drawing down. Am I holding tension in my face or my shoulders, right? Did that tension that we were trying to release in the beginning creep back in? And when you're ready, slowly coming down. Let's take a moment just to kind of shake it out, release. We're going to do that one more time with one more layer. Again, this isn't better, it's just different. So find again variation that works right for you. So let's see, I'll show you from the front without the chair, but continue to use the chair if you want. So shifting the weight over to the right leg again, activating the right leg. Pressing down evenly through your big toe and the outside back edge of your right heel. So a diagonal line across the foot. Because sometimes we might tend to roll out towards the outside of our feet or roll in. And just kind of notice if you tend to do that and press evenly through both the inside and outside of the foot. Again, hands at the hips. Find your drishti. Begin to lift your left foot. Now we've done this a few times, and if this is not feeling good for maybe your right ankle anymore, or your hip, or your leg, or anything, remember you can always keep the toes down. Now one more thing you could add on is to move the arms up. So notice how this might change your balance. Can you have fun with this? Can you bring a smile to your lips? No, it's okay if you're a little wobbly. Lengthening through the sides of your body. So breathing deep and even. And very slowly begin to bring the leg down and the hands down. And slowly begin to shift the weight over to the left leg. Hands starting on your hips. Activating that leg, pressing down evenly through the outside and inside. Begin to slowly lift the knee, trying to keep the hips even. And then if you would like, begin to lift the arms. And you could always keep one hand on the chair and just lift one arm. Lengthen through the sides of your body. Draw your navel in, but still remembering to breathe. And then when you are ready, hands slowly come down, leg comes down. Shaking it out. So now we're going to come into another twisting movement, and that involves breath as well. And this is more activating. So kind of assess your mood and your energy and see if this would be good for you today. It's great if you are kind of feeling sluggish and you need some more energy for your afternoon. But if you are already feeling maybe very anxious or angry or agitated, this could possibly increase that. So I recommend maybe you just observe or just do it very gently. So to start, just to kind of add in some twists first before we get into the energizing breath, let your arms just kind of sweep side to side as you lift your opposite heel and bend your knees a little. So like empty coat sleeves, you might see a kid doing this, kind of flopping their empty coat sleeves side to side. And then you're very slowly going to stop. You don't want to get dizzy, so we're just very gently going to slow it down and come back to center. So we're going to do that at the end of our breath. We're going to slowly stop and come back. So I'll just show and demonstrate the breath first, and then we'll try it together. So the hands are going to come to the shoulders, fingertips forward, thumbs back, elbows lifted. If you're taking care of your shoulders, any injuries there, and this doesn't feel good, you could do it starting with your hands on your hips. And then there's a 2-part inhale and a 2-part exhale. The inhale is what I call, very technical term, a more sniffing breath. It's a more fast-paced breath like this. So we're going to twist as we do that. So I'm going to twist and inhale halfway, and then twist to the left and inhale fully. Then with my exhale, I'm going to open my arms out to the sides, and I'm going to exhale halfway through my mouth and then fully through my mouth as I twist the other way. So all together, it will look and sound like this. And just being careful of your space, I'm just going to gradually slow down. So I have the wall behind me, so I can't really lift my arms up. But ideally, when you're exhaling, you're having your hands at shoulder height. But again, if you're taking care of your shoulders and it feels better to keep them lower, you could do that. So a variation for shoulder injury might look like this. And just like we did before, important, I'm lifting my opposite heel and moving my whole torso to the side. And then I'm going to gradually slow down. Now, if you tend to get dizzy, or again, if you're feeling really agitated, dealing with any like health complications right now, maybe you just do a very small, gentle twist, keeping it slower. Or you could come down to seated and just observe, right? Keep going with the deep, even breathing. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's listening to your body and seeing what you need. So we're going to do a few rounds. We'll gradually slow down and then stop. If you need to stop sooner, try not to stop abruptly, but again, gradually slow down. So this is called Power Hara, and I learned it from Amy Weintraub, who created Yoga for Depression, who wrote that book and created Life Force Yoga. And so it's a very activating breath to help lift the mood, help lift the energy. So I'm starting nice and wide with my feet, hands on the shoulders, elbows lifted. Let's take a breath in and out to prepare. And let's begin. Oops. And so I messed it up a little bit, but that's okay, right? Just doing the best you can. So if it's not the perfect pattern or movement, that's fine. There's no perfect, right? You could also think about through your exhales, letting go, like we did in that forward fold. Whatever might still be feeling stuck. A couple more. Last one. And then slowly just let your hands begin to flop side to side like empty coat sleeves, gradually slowing down, not stopping abruptly. Again, to bring your feet more underneath you, finding your position of mountain. Find something in front of you not moving. So if that tended to feel too activating from you, coming back to your drishti, your gaze point, can be really helpful. Finding something to focus your eyes. Come back to that deep breath in and out through your nose, nice and slow, nice and long and smooth. Think about inhaling up your left leg all the way up to the top of your head. And imagine exhaling down the right side of your body, all the way down through the right foot. And again, inhale up through the sole of your left foot, up the left leg, all the way up the side of the body to the top of the head. And exhaling from the top of the head down the right side of the body, all the way down through the right foot. Take a couple more breaths, eyes open or closed, visualizing this breathing pattern, this flow of energy or prana with your breath. Notice if there's areas in your body you might be holding tightness or tension. You're gripping your toes or clenching your jaw. Can you begin to soften and release? So from here, begin to make your way down to seated. Find your chair again. Sitting tall away from the back of the chair, hands resting on your legs. And take a moment to check in again here. Eyes could be open or closed. Noticing if anything has shifted for you, emotionally, energetically, physically. The shifts could be very subtle. If your mind wanders, very gently just come back to your breath. Come back to observing your body, your mind, your emotions. When you're ready, you might bring your hands back over your heart, or maybe hands to heart center. And take a moment to repeat your intention again. And think about releasing it out into the rest of your day. Thank you all for sharing your practice with me. The light within me bows to and honors that same light within you. Namaste. So thank you all so much. I will be back in December, the 1st and the 2nd Thursday in December for more chair and standing yoga. If you ever have any requests or any questions for me, feel free to shoot me a message or look me up on my website, mindfuldetroit.com. Again, my name is Caitlin Brown, and thank you all so much for joining me for yoga today.